Hi and welcome to Bob Harper Jukebox Amplifier Repairs from Somerset, England. And on the bench today we've got a Wurlitzer amplifier. This is a model 530 and I think it's out of a 1900. Now it's coming to me for repair, poor sound, no sound, intermittent sound. And I've gone through this amplifier and it's been worked on by someone else, and a few things I had to put right. Obviously not done right since when it was worked on by someone else. And also find the faults that it originally came in with. So I'll explain all that when I turn the amplifier over in a moment. But looking at the top side, valve wise, needs to replace a 5U4. The one that came with was very weak, so I'll replace that. Phase inverter valve there was very weak as well, so I've replaced that as well. The rest of the valves tested fine. On the top of the PCB, I had a couple of capacitors to change that were old ones that were still in there, one there and one there I've replaced. Another problem with this amplifier, amongst a long list, this PCB board has been replaced by somebody else in the past. I've never seen one like this one before. It's been replaced. Obviously it was a bare board and they've put all new components on, apart from the valve sockets, which they've reused the old ones that came probably on the original board. And that socket there was very faulty, very intermittent contact. So that was probably the issue with the intermittent sound. So we put a new socket in there, and that's all fine now. Also on the top of this amplifier, we look at the mains transformer. Now one of those has been replaced by someone in the past, the one that supplies the HT, been rewound, I would imagine. Unfortunately, the specifications are not correct for this amplifier. It's about 60 or 70 volts below the HT value that it should have. Whoever's done the amp before has tried to compensate this by altering the value of some resistors in the power supply, and also the bleeder resistor has been completely removed. And I'm going to leave that as it is because the voltages are not too bad with that alteration done, but obviously it's not as standard. And what we'll do now, we'll have a little listen to it. It sounds nice now, and then I'll turn the amp over and we'll have a look at the work that was needed underneath this amplifier for the various faults. So I've got my iPod just temporarily connected into the PCB here. Bass, treble, okay, so I'll switch that off now before I get a copyright strike. I'll disconnect this in a moment, and then obviously the Cobra cartridge plugs in there, and I have tried a cable cartridge on it just to make sure that works, and it does, so that's all fine. So what I'll do now, I'll pause the video and we'll turn the amplifier over and have a look underneath. Okay, so here we are on the underside of the amplifier, and I'll run through around the amplifier and show you the work that's been done. So this is the replacement PCB board that someone else had fitted. Obviously you know I replaced the socket there, valve socket. The base control was cracked and been repaired by somebody else, and unfortunately that had failed again. So I've taken that out, re-glued that back together and tested it, and the base control is now working. Moving down here to the smoothing capacitor section. These are obviously new capacitors been replaced by somebody in the past. As I said, the value of the resistors have been changed. Also, the capacitor there was the wrong value, so I put the right value in. That's for the AVC. This little relay here, which is the play control relay, the Paxlin end, which operates the blades, was completely missing. Now, whether that happened in transit or I don't know, but obviously the amplifier would have completely been dead without that relay switching the power on to the transformer. So what I've done is fitted a longer blade and I've epoxied a new piece of Paxlin on the end there, as you can see. So now that relay works as it should. I've also replaced the mains lead going into the amplifier, which was the old rubber one. I've replaced that with PVC insulated and a ground as well. Moving to the output section here, this was really strange. The capacitors there's little blue ones you can see are rated at 1000 volts, and they right on the HT supply, and the ones that were in there were nowhere near man enough, really, and if they break down, that's going to cause major problems. So I've replaced those two little capacitors, and also the bypass capacitor for the output valve is completely missing, not connected whatsoever. So the sound would have been not very good. The cathode would have been drifting all over the place, and it also affect the bass response of the amplifier. So anyway, so I think that's the full list of what I've done. Yes, I think it is. So this amplifier had quite a few faults when it came to me. What it ever sounded like originally, I don't know. And obviously, hopefully it'll sound nice when it goes back into the jukebox. It should sound better, to be honest, because some of the work that was done, wrong value capacitors and stuff, would have affected the sound. Anyway, I don't know the history of this amp. It just came in for repair, not working, but it was quite a catalogue of faults to find on this amplifier. And obviously, even now, I've done all this work. The mains transformer, as I say, this one here, it's been rewound by somebody, unfortunately was not wound the correct specification as regards output voltage for the HT. Anyway, that's it for now. He's all done, best as I can do with it anyway. And next one on the bench is an AMI R145 amplifier.